Side, all you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The accident guys can come to you almost anywhere, so you don't have to come to us. Se habla español.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
At the moment, the best women's college basketball team in Los Angeles is on the UCLA campus. In a local showdown last night, UCLA got by USC 59-56. Emily Bessoir led the 10th-ranked Bruins with 16 points. The Clippers played Phoenix last night without 4 starters, and the result was not much of a surprise. The Clippers lost by 16, snapping their 3-game winning streak. On the bench was Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Reggie Jackson, and Ivica Zubac. The NFC West title is no longer available. The 10-4 49ers clinched it last night with an 8-point win at Seattle. The 49ers are 5-0 in the division, including 2 wins over the Rams. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
You ready? Excuse me. Now that I have your attention, may I ask you this question? Why do you believe police brutality continues to exist in this country? Do you believe it to be a systemic problem, or should we judge police misconduct on a case-by-case basis? And what's your opinion on the best course of action to solve the problem? Well, you have come to the right place. You're listening to LA's all-new progressive talk radio station. Of the people, by the people, for the people.
Hey, I sure appreciate that.
It's KBLA Talk 1580, and we got you covered round the clock. Racism, we got you. Progressive politics, we got you. Health and wellness education, we have you covered.
We're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people.
A black-owned and operated, evidence-based alternative radio station for progressive, open-minded people like you and me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Welcome home, LA. We're all in this together.
Let's get it on.
It's KBLA Talk 1580, broadcasting from the heart of LA's Leimert Park. We've got a lot to talk about.
We are going to have to fight. We're going to have to struggle. We're going to have to struggle relentlessly to bring about some peace.
Yo, my spirit saying keep the faith. My lyrics say give them hell. My fears saying I need a break. The foot I put on neck saying keep the pace. Smile say I'm good, but stomach say I ain't eating days. Mom saying dream bigger, son, you need a lake. Pop saying save your penny, son, you need a place. My friends saying keep it pimpin' blood, you need a wraith. My fam starting this tradition now of being safe. My ex picking now to tell me how she want a space. She be stressed if I ain't text her every couple days. She ain't special, ain't no pressure when you run the game. Another extra in my section when I'm up at Dre's. Talk to me nicely, walk through is pricey. Till my mom's in the hills and Lil brought them icy. Jesus hand on the wheel, it feels like a vice grip. If I ain't give you the chills, I failed, there's alright this. My brother wears heart on his sleeve. His only motivation now is loving to see. We at Cuzzo graduation, manifesting our dreams. If I write the homie Lock, who should've played in the league. Man, it's hard being the vocal. The only one scoring get ball to me when I'm open. They guarded me and I'm stroking from hard and deep in the ocean. This dream take guts, heart, arteries, and devotion. Swear to God, yo, count up my bad days, combat my past ways. Cause sometimes my pride just wanna leave me alone. Cause home don't even feel like how we used to feel, dog. For real, Father Time just wanna leave me alone. Come on. Shorty got your seed now, daddy put the streets down. But meanwhile, my side chicks won't leave me alone. Let's go. Someone keep it real with me, follow up and build. Yeah. Put the steel down, the vibes just won't leave me alone. Hey yo, I like where it's going. This for all the mics that recorded, all the pages of my life and the advice that be flowing. Since a youngin', all I wanted this like a disorder. How I'm writing this so deep until the night that it's morning. I set the record straight, full circle had to set the pace. Our moms never root for second place. All authentic, check the dates. We Vegas kids show up extra late. The top tier in my section came a long way from section 8. Like how much
KBLA Talk 1580. That's Miles Lowe. Miles Lowe Music. Happy Friday. Bob your head to that and go get it wherever you get your music. Miles Lowe Music. That's AFC North is the song. AFC North, I should say. Got the F on the end. Representing Las Vegas. It's starting Elon Musk is banning journalists from Twitter because I guess they get on his nerves. I'm sure he has a further explanation than that, but the EU is already warning him. They are thinking about sanctioning him for that. He has banned CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan, Ryan Mack of the New York Times, Drew Harwell of the Washington Post, and journalists that have been commenting on, writing about him and his not so wise moves at the tweet place. And so now he's banning them. They're not responding to journalists' requests for comment, but it kind of makes me wonder. I mean, I said this on Twitter. I have a tiny Twitter following, but it slowly, steadily has increased, over the years. It's never gone down. It always, you lose a person here or there, but it's just generally, it's steadily up, 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 up. But ever since Elon Musk got Twitter, my followers have gone down. Now, maybe, I'm not posting good content. Maybe, as someone suggested on Twitter, it's bots dropping off, but it's interesting. It makes me wonder, that's all. Especially when he's now saying that the journalist violated his doxing policy. What? He can make up any excuse he wants. There's no free speech. When you say, okay, I'll give you back the 45th president, but, journalists writing about me, we're banning them. That's like, now you're acting like an authoritarian dictator. And he's claiming he had been doxxed. You know what? You're a billionaire. Hire some security. I'm not saying that people should be doxxed, by the way. That's a terrible thing. But it sounds like a big excuse. Really, every reporter that's writing aggressively about Twitter is doxing you. What a coincidence. Let's go to Carl calling us from L.A. Good morning, Carl.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Lafayette.
Oh, Lafayette.
I was just wondering about Karen Bass, Mayor Bass. I was just wondering how she going to get any of this business taken care of with the Board of Supervisors and city council members. I mean, I remember when Janice Hines wanted to be mayor, and she did a great, beautiful job out there in Long Beach with the city harbor, with the boats coming in, the ships coming in. She was great. She did a fantastic job, but I'm wondering, is it any envy there?
Well, she wasn't mayor. You talking about on the city council or when she was in Congress?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, when she was with city council, and she was doing a great job out there. She probably could have been mayor of Long Beach. But I'm wondering now, how much authority will Mayor Bass have over the supervisors and before they get out of control, and how much authority is she going to have now over the city council members? I mean, there's 4 Latino women there. They holding their ground. They saying they trying to add more people to it. I seen Karen Bass yesterday. She signed an executive order for housing for homeless people and for renters right now. And then she's trying to extend a pilot program out farther than Los Angeles, is a little more distance. I mean, how long can you have Kevin DeLeon keep coming to council meetings and then he vote on something and leaves? I mean, I seen him the other day and he seemed like he voted from the back office back
He did,
there.
yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly what he did.
Came back and so I'm trying to figure out, it's a lot of city business that needs to be taken care of for the people. How much authority does the Mayor Bass have over the city council members? I mean, they talking about adding, 4 or 5 more people onto it?
Well, yeah, but that's not something they can do overnight. I mean, they're going to have to make changes to the city charter, which they're going to have to do anyway, because there needs to be a mechanism in place for when someone does egregious action. We don't, in order for them to be removed, there has to be a process. That doesn't involve the taxpayers coming out of pocket for millions of dollars for a recall election. So they're going to have to change that anyway. The mayor of LA does not have higher fire power over the city council. They're elected by the people. She cannot fire him. She has to work with the council. In fact, the city council in our city has a lot of power. Now, as far as the Latino council members standing together, I don't know that that's exactly true. I mean, Hugo Soto Martinez and Eunice Hernandez, the 2 new Latino or Latine council members, walked out with Marquise Harris Dawson and Neither Rahman. when KDL came in. So it's not like there's a Latino bloc. I think Council Member Monica Rodriguez has been more sympathetic towards him. And, that's, we have to see how that is going to play out. She has called for him to step down, but has also been more sympathetic towards his portraying himself as some kind of victim.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out how much is Mrs. Bass, Mayor Bass is concerned, and how much authority that she has to supervise them.
No,
make
she
sure
doesn't
the job
have.
gets done.
She doesn't have
as mayor.
supervisorial powers over the city council. Think of it as the Congress and the president. The president has the Congress makes the laws and allocates the budget. The president can veto, but that's it. The president can't tell them. He or she can influence what they do by relationships, by the bully pulpit, by mobilizing us, the voters. But she doesn't have supervisory power over the city council. She hires and fires the police chief. She has 300 people that work under her, but the city council are elected by each district, and the district voters are the ones that have hiring and firing power over the city council members. Not to mention, we'll talk about you raised some good points about the county supervisors.
And what about the nonprofits? How are the nonprofits going to?
Okay, let's talk about the county
by
supervisors and the nonprofits, because those are both great questions, folks that we lean on that have to interface with the city, or this crisis doesn't get solved. Let's look at that, Carl. Great questions when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Okay, so here's the truth about December 17th and why you should register on DionRamble.com. Okay, get ready. DionRamble.com and why you should register for a free event about contracts. December 17th to be with me, Rambo, and my special guest. First of all, if you don't have a lot of contracts right now, you need to be there. Like, the whole new year is coming in. I've been doing these events for a while now. Every event has over 500 minority business owners there. So if you haven't attended, you need to attend. And if you have attended, you probably already started winning contracts because the event's free. December 17th is a Saturday. It's only for 2 hours. My special guest can only talk up to 6 minutes. And these are the mayor's office, LA counties talking about contracts, the city, DionRamble.com. So if I haven't convinced you December 17th to come to DionRamble.com and register, I really don't know what else to do. It's all about contracts. DionRamble.com, DionRamble.com.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You can also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
It's Macy's one-day sale with great deals of the day, just in time for the holidays. Like 60 to 65% off Effie Fine jewelry, 60 to 65% off coats the whole family will love, and get 20 to 60% off Toys R Us favorites from Barbie, Paw Patrol, Discovery, and more. Plus, everyone gets $10 in Macy's money for every $50 spent. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Did you know that LA County Library has free Wi-Fi at all 85 library locations? That's right, free Wi-Fi. Now they also offer free Wi-Fi in parking lots at participating locations. Visit a participating LA County Library location, park in a library parking spot, bring your own device, connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're ready to connect with your friends and family, do some online shopping, browse your social media accounts, answer emails, do your homework, and so much more. You won't need a library card to connect, but you can sign up for one while you're there and get access to free books, ebooks, music, movies, and more. For additional information, log on to lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi. That's lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Alrighty, Carl, call me at 800-920-1580, and I invite you to do the same. Let's talk about it. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This is First Things First. And Carl, he's really looking at how the mayor of Los Angeles, the first woman mayor, first African-American woman, progressive, a community organizer who has inherited multiple crises, right? If you need someone to fix your problem, call a black woman. But he really, Carl, is talking about how can she get the job done. She needs the cooperation of the city council. She needs the cooperation of the county board of supervisors. And she does not have any supervisory powers over the board of supervisors. The board of supervisors, what do they call them? The five kings or something? I don't know. It's a title that they typically talk about how the city council and the county do not always see eye to eye. And in particularly when it comes to the unhoused population, this has been a huge problem. Getting the county, which is over a lot of things like mental health services, to be in alignment with the city, which, has all kinds of responsibility for what happens on the streets of Los Angeles, to be in lockstep. And I think what the mayor does have is the power of relationships, the power of persuasion. She has relationships with some of those folks on the city council, which remains an all-female body. She's just as she has relationships in Sacramento and Washington, D.C., that she and we are going to have to rely on because she does not have that authority.
Well, I don't see this governor's care plan. Is that the name of his plan, the Core Care program going on in the Care Corps? I don't see how she's going to be able to put that together without the supervisors or without the city council members. I don't think it's going to fly.
Well, the governor's care court is a state program that would come through him, and it would affect every single city. But whether or not how it's going to work, you're right. It absolutely depends on the people that have to implement it, which is going to be the cities and the counties. And I think one of the reasons we elected Congresswoman Assembly Speaker Bass to be our mayor is because she has those relationships. She has a track record of being able to get stuff done in divided chambers. The situation in Sacramento when Schwarzenegger was governor and Mayor Bass was leading the state body, she was able to get some stuff done for foster care and other things in a time when no one was getting anything done. And that's the thing that gives me hope. She's good at crafting consensus. She's good at organizing. She's good at making sure everybody gets their credit and everyone has their say to move issues. And I think that's what it's going to take. And us, the citizens, the people, paying attention like you are, Carl, and putting the pressure on.
Well, I'm glad that she has the titles and the connections that she can go to get the services done for the people. Enjoy your week, Dominique. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well, Carl. I always appreciate the phone call. I mean, these are great questions because governance, and this is what, sometimes people don't understand from the outside. And I've never been in an elected office either, but I've worked with enough elected officials to watch and see how that process works. You're not a king. You're not an emperor. You have to work with other people. If you cannot get other people on board with your bill, your policy, your measure, not only to get it passed, but to actually implement it, then you're paralyzed. You can't get anything done. That's the way our system is set up. We don't have an authoritarian, regardless of how some folks try to move or think they can move, that's just not how it's set up. Let's go to Molly Bell from the city of Compton. Good morning.
Gumbo and reparations in memory of our ancestors. God bless morning to you, Dominique, and to our KBLA listeners, family, and delegation. First thing first, thank you for going back to introducing the African words, Asante Sana, for doing that, because this really is the most progressive station that we have, and we definitely know we need to know our African words. Thank you for that. And I see you. I was on the live chat, and for those who are not looking, Dominique have on her war hat today. Looked like she's in camouflage. And then, now I know it wasn't planned, but I think this is about the first time I've ever heard you kind of disagree with Ed Sanders. And I don't know, maybe because you had on the war hat. But I agree with you. Kevin De Leon needs to go. He has to go. He is disrupting everything. He's not being able to let us have the meetings. Like I said, I don't usually go down there. I'm a part of a coalition that do things about him, but I let the people live in their district, or the ones who or even get L.A. City Council, because, you know, I have my own mayor, and we have our own issue out here. But, you know, and yesterday, some of the Coalition for Community Control over the Police and others went down to his home office, and some of them got arrested, and they were released about 6 or 7 last night. So, and it's not, please, listeners, please understand, this is not a Latino thing, and Latinos aren't upset with blacks and blacks upset. This is a legal, fair, just representation thing, and we've got to do it. And when you get busted, and it's not a good thing, but when you get busted, you do. So let's just keep that in mind. I really wanted to call on for a second of all and tell you, you were awesome this weekend. I don't know where you get the energy, probably from eating right. You know, used to be with Coach E, so I know how you would do, because you were great at the Leimert Park. You even went afterwards. We had a chance to take pictures. I haven't done my post. I did go live, Dominique, when they were wobbling.
And by the way, thank you for the compliment. That was kind of you. Thank you.
Oh, well, like I said, I had a ball. Had so many people there who spoke up and everything. And I did get a chance to get a couple of pictures that I needed. So hopefully today I'll do my real post and share it with others. And I thank you also. I was glad you were able to go over to the Hot and Cool Cafe for Dr. Matula Shakur there and talk to other people. And today is the day he's supposed to be released. Today is the 16th. And,
yes, free Matulu.
Yeah, he's supposed to be released on this day. And for those who don't know, that is a former husband of Afeni Shakur, also the stepfather of Tupac Shakur, that is supposed to be. And finally, I just want to say that, what did you think about, and I can listen to this off the air, about Trump's big announcement with those playing cards, where he's dressed up like a cowboy, a Superman, and they $99 for a pack of them. And it is, the man is going mad. Like I've said before, I mean it with everything inside of me. He's either going to blow his brains out or he's going to jail. Whenever, I'm not sure the date of January 6th last submission, but they're going to have a lot of texts from, what's the man's name? Mark Meadows.
The former chief of staff to the president, Yeah,
after he's the ones he sent to Ivana Trump, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, even the My Pillow Man. He had over 2,000 text messages. So we have a lot ahead of us. And again, I thank KBLA, Tavis Smiley, all of the guests, all of the other in-person, on-air person leaders. They were just great, and we had a great time. Everybody, take a minute. When we get a win, enjoy it. Live in it just for that time, because tomorrow we're going to be fighting again. So enjoy everything that's going on. We're getting ready for Kwanzaa. So I remind all you prayer warriors out there, you know what you've got to do. You've got to keep fasting. You've got to keep praying. But always, the struggle continues, but always to God be the glory. Thank you, Dominique, and thank you, Tavis Smiley. Mwah! Thank you, Miles.
Molly Bell, thank you. I appreciate you. We really do all that you do. And all you talk about energy. I mean, Molly Bell is at the protest. She's at the event. She's taking pictures. So, yeah, I think, you are the one that has the patent on energy, and appreciate your engagement. So, yeah, I do think that the former president is getting more and more unhinged, and I expect to see him continue to get more unhinged because of that poll and the trend line moving away from his popularity. When he's desperate, when he feels he's on the ropes, that's when we get the really special, extra special, Orange Menace. And the fact that DeSantis shellacked him in the latest USA Today poll as the desired nominee for, GOP respondents means that he is going into cornered animal mode. And I expect him to be doing a lot of weird things. I don't ever see him taking his own life. And, I don't want anyone to take their own life. I would love for him to go somewhere and be quiet, but I don't see that happening either. I do see more and more desperate measures. As far as your question about those trading cards, they're digital trading cards that feature him, the former president, in all these different poses, as you mentioned. And he somehow made himself thinner on these digital trading cards. It's the idealized version of himself. And they're $100, by the way, if you want to buy. I guess they're like NFTs, sort of digital trading card thingies. He made his stomach smaller and his hands bigger. Hey, I can think of some things I would change if I had a digital trading card of me. He made his hands bigger and his stomach smaller. I'm just saying. But, to me, he's also a hustler. He's a huckster, a confidence man. He is somebody who ripped people off with Trump University. He's a former casino owner, right? This guy if it's a hustle out there that will make some money, he gonna do it. And I think we saw that with him using his charity to buy a giant portrait of himself. So yeah, whether it's digital trading cards or stay at my hotel or go to my school and I'll teach you how to make money in real estate, he's going to do it. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I think it's honestly, aside from trying to get the jump on DeSatan and others, I think the reason that he declared so early for president is because it allows him to raise money, just like he was raising money on a committee that didn't exist, for an organization that didn't exist after the January 6th a coup attempt. This man is a grifter. So whether it's playing cards or, putting his name on a building, if you'll pay him, he'll do it. And I think he has realized that electoral politics is a great grift. Get money for doing nothing. Spend it how you will. That's how I see it. Great question, Molly Bell. We do have a lot to talk about. Not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm John Marshall. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Falcons are finalizing preparations to play with the new quarterback. Desmond Ridder is making the start when Atlanta takes on the Saints in New Orleans Sunday afternoon. It was announced just over a week ago that he was taking over the role. A Chicago police officer accused of beating a woman with a baton and wrongfully arresting her during a protest over the police killing of George Floyd could be fired from the department. CPD Superintendent David Brown recommended that Officer James Hunt be fired in a letter sent to the police board. Brown filed charges against Hunt over the incident. Today is expected to be the busiest day ahead of Christmas at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, Georgia. More than 300,000 people are predicted to be traveling through the A. Airport officials say passenger numbers in total through January 3rd could exceed 5.2 million people. That's the latest. I'm John Marshall on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The accident guys can come to you almost anywhere, so you don't have to come to us. Se habla español.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
At the moment, the best women's college basketball team in Los Angeles is on the UCLA campus. In a local showdown last night, UCLA got by USC 59-56. Emily Bessoir led the 10th-ranked Bruins with 16 points. The Clippers played Phoenix last night without 4 starters, and the result was not much of a surprise. The Clippers lost by 16, snapping their 3-game winning streak. On the bench was Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Reggie Jackson, and Ivica Zubac. The NFC West title is no longer available. The 10-4 49ers clinched it last night with an 8-point win at Seattle. The 49ers are 5-0 in the division, including 2 wins over the Rams. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with one of the panelists, the owner of Kids Love. Take a listen.
So Kids Love, KIDSLUV, is a first-to-market zero-sugar, vitamin-enhanced functional beverage for kids.
So the zero sugar is really important because if not, the sugar gets on the teeth, it can cause cavities. So as a mom, I love this vitamins and hydration in one. Tell us what's happening here with Chase Bank today.
So I would say, I think what Chase is trying to do is create a community actually for entrepreneurs, a place where people can go. They have the space to do it. It's a beautiful space. And to be able to have these conversations. There are so many benefits to being a women-owned and certified business, from a standpoint of getting into stores, not paying the slotting fees of what it takes to be in stores. So I think Chase is trying to bring awareness to a lot of the things that people just don't know about, that not only the bank can help, but outside of the bank, their relationships can help create.
That's beautiful. And I know, this is how we build equity in communities of color, is kind of spreading that information and that knowledge. So thank you for being here today and doing your part and letting these women know that it is possible.
For KBLA 1580, I'm Maisha Cairo in the community with Chase.
This Sunday and every Sunday is the African Marketplace and Drum Circle Community Market. Get free groceries, essential resources, and buy black from local merchants of arts, beauty, custom black merchandise, and more. Choose from a wide variety of cuisines, custom-made clothing, jewelry, and a lot more. Experience the true essence of Africatown at Lamert Park every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Join the Drum Circle, dance, enjoy live performances, connect with other conscious black people. Experience black excellence every Sunday in Africatown at Lamert Park. You can find us on Degnan Boulevard near Vernon and Crenshaw in the heart of Africatown at Lamert Park. That's the African Marketplace and Drum Circle Community Market. Join us for music, shopping, food, and fun this and every Sunday. Support black businesses, recycle black dollars, and feed your soul. The African Marketplace and Drum Circle Community Market every Sunday in Africatown at Lamert Park. Brought to you by Africatown Enterprise and the African Village Vendors Association.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio. KBLA Talk 1580.
And the holiday season is upon us. You know, I kind of have a thing about resolutions. I think it's not about resolutions, about being resolute, if you will. It's, it's about the moment. What are we doing right now? The mindfulness. I just don't want us to set ourselves up to create unnecessary pressure, unnecessary stress in our lives, but also handling our business, getting done what we got to get done. I do have quite a bit of good news for you, things that are happening that I consider good news, and I'd like to share those with you on a Friday. So, I am super happy, as you've heard me express, even though I always know there's an ulterior motive, that the Biden administration is reaching out to all of these African nations, that the First Lady hosted a dinner for the husbands and wives of those leaders of those African nations, 49 is my understanding. Of course, it is the United States competing on the continent to counteract the, influence of China, but also to have our strategic plan in the continent, in the motherland, on many of these different nations, in which the administration has been very hush-hush about. That said, it is a good thing that the president is lobbying to have those African leaders present in more of these world bodies, where the AU can have an impact in giving a voice to a huge percentage of the world's population, and a piece of the world's population that is disproportionately being impacted by the climate emergency. So there is that. The trial of Atatiana, the killer of Atatiana Jefferson, his name is Aaron Dean, former police officer, found guilty of manslaughter on yesterday. Could face up to 20 years in prison. He could face as little as 2. It's 2 to 20 years. That's the range. But although this was not the heaviest charge that the prosecution had brought forth, it wasn't the heaviest charge. The jury found him guilty of the 2019 killing of Atatiana Jefferson, manslaughter. This is still a pretty big deal. Sentencing starts today, and so we'll know probably very soon what this former Fort Worth cop is looking at. Now remember, this is the young lady who was babysitting her nephew. They were playing video games. A neighbor asked for a wellness check because a door was left open, and then the cops came, and this particular officer, Aaron Dean, shot through a window, which is typically not in policy. He claimed she had a gun, did not call for backup, did not duck out of the way or do a lot of what would be considered the safety protocols. He ran in there, he shot her through the window, and this was in 2019. He's been found guilty yesterday. He was taken into custody, and sentencing, I don't know if it'll be complete in one day or how that works, but we should be hearing over the days ahead what he will actually face. It's a terrible, terrible case, one that has left the nephew, Tatiana Jefferson's nephew, very shaken, very traumatized. As you can imagine, having your auntie shot dead right in front of you from outside the home. The governor of Oregon, her name is Kate Brown, this week commuted the sentences of every single person on death row in Oregon. It was 17 people. They now have been given life in prison without the possibility of parole. So it was actually, I consider this a good thing because this is her taking a stand against the death penalty. She has long said she doesn't agree with the death penalty. I do not either. This is the state executing people, and with the built-in biases of the state coming into play, you see the disproportionate execution of African American and Latino prisoners. So they've had, just as California has, they've had moratoriums on the death penalty and gone through the same kind of process. But the statement of commuting everyone on death row in a state in switching them, converting them over to life without the possibility of parole, that is, I hope that's something that others will follow in her footsteps in doing, because I think that's something that is one way to work around a law that shouldn't even exist anyway. And so I put that in the good. I think that we are moving. If you look at polling, the American public is moving away from supporting the death penalty, but I think these kind of actions move us in that direction. The state should not be executing people. We are isolated among a very small group of nations, most of which are not democracies, that also have state execution. Remember Courtney Clenny? She's the OnlyFans model who killed a black man who was her boyfriend. She stabbed him to death, I should say, allegedly. The judge has rejected her request to get out on bail. She's going to stay in jail until her trial starts. It seemed like she had kind of gotten away with this whole thing. Some attractive blonde woman who was living with a tall, handsome Nigerian American. But she finally was arrested, and now the judge is saying, nope, I'm not buying that this was self-defense. You will stay in jail until the trial. This was in April of this year that she killed her boyfriend. Well, allegedly killed her boyfriend by stabbing him to death. And she's not disputing it. She's saying it was self-defense. Judge said, not so fast. You're going to have to prove that in court. And so she'll have the opportunity to do that. But I think it sends a good message too, because it often feels, I should say, like there's this double standard where we do not get the same consideration in the justice system as other people do. So the fact that she's being seen as dangerous and a flight risk, had the roles been reversed, we know that probably would have happened. So it seems like the judge made the right call. Harvard University with a black president. It's the first time. Not only a black president, a black woman. Her name is Claudine Gay, and she will be taking over as of 2023. So it's a huge deal. Harvard University was founded in 1636, and this is the first time they've had a black woman. She's the dean of their arts and scientists faculty, and she will start as the president of probably the most prestigious university in the country next year. Her parents are Haitian American immigrants, and it seems like part of a continuum. Harvard University looking at ways to deal with their own past, their own form of reparation, reflection. Not that she should have to have that to become president, but they have launched a $100 million campaign to deal with their role in slavery and systemic marginalization, exclusion, and discrimination against black people. So that the richest school in the world, which I didn't realize Harvard is the richest school in the world, now has a black woman leading. They are also making a strong and I think important statement, and doing so with someone who is qualified to do the job. Not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Bring in the new year with Ted Williams. He's coming to Ontario in the Toyota Arena December 30th. And in Los Angeles in the Microsoft Theater December 31st.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this light bill. Just hit the blunt one time and see if it don't change your perception of what's important in your
the award-winning comedian, Cat Williams.
Just so you knew they was lying, they said some next that don't even make mathematical sense. They said there's a chicken wing shortage, but we got plenty thighs.
Cat Williams with his special guests, Marco, Tommy Davidson, Tony Roberts, Daphne Springs, and Pretty Ricky. In Ontario, get tickets at Ticketmaster. In Los Angeles at AXS.com. Bring in the new year with Cat Williams.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Ain't Too Proud is a celebration that brings the audience to its feet.
Ain't too proud to beg, as you know it.
The Grammy-winning songs, the Tony-winning movies. Ain't Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations. Now at the Amundsen through January 1st only. Tickets at AmundsenTheater.org. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
A lot of things moving, when we're not paying attention, or maybe you are paying attention. I don't know. But it's hard to keep track of everything. 5 Louisiana officers now being charged over the death of Ronald Green. I don't know if you remember this case. It's another horrifying one where we saw the state suppressing the video for a long, long time. The officers said that the man, Ronald Green, died from a car crash. That's what the official story was. He died from a car crash. But then when we finally saw the body camera video, it showed white officers beating him up, hitting him with a stun gun, dragging him, screaming in pain, saying he was scared. One of the most horrifying videos. And this is the first time, this is, again, from 2019. Now we're finally seeing criminal charges. The state police came under scrutiny because of this in Louisiana, and the Justice Department had to look at the agency, and that's part of what brought this case forward and got it some attention. Mona Hardin, that's Ronald Green's mom, said, okay, you got charges, but what will it lead to? She's keeping the pressure on. She has vowed not to bury her son. Ronald Green was cremated. She says she won't bury him until she gets justice. Although she sees this as a first step, she's not saying hallelujah yet, because she wants to see convictions. And I just think it's kind of fitting that on the same day that jurors handed back a modicum of justice for Tatiana Jefferson with a manslaughter, guilty verdict, manslaughter in the cop that shot her through a window and killed her in front of her young child, that we would finally see some charges handed down from a state grand jury in a case of Ronald Green. Master Trooper Corey York is the one facing the most serious charges. You can see him on the video dragging Ronald Green by his ankle shackles. I mean, did I just say Master Trooper A master trooper was dragging a black man by the shackles on his feet. That's what I just said. And it's a news report. I'm not making this stuff up, right? He had his foot on his back. He forced him down, left him face down in the dirt for 9 whole minutes. And so the master trooper has been charged with negligent homicide and 10 counts of malfeasance in office. The other ones are facing malfeasance and obstruction. But charges widespread here. And again, even though it's a sad story and I kind of hate telling it to say his name, Ronald Green, it's important because otherwise, and we know this continues to go on. I know that this is not, over, right? But the accountability is key. The accountability is key, and it seems like it's getting a little bit more common. And I feel like one of the reasons for that is because we, the people, protest, march, pay attention, and keep it pushing. We don't give up. Even when the noise dies down, we're still signing petitions, we're voting, we are putting pressure on. Some House Democrats are trying to make sure that Trump can never run again. I'll tell you about that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where we turn red lights to green lights and keep it moving.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Hey!
Remember that there is a rule that anyone who takes part, in insurrection against the United States government cannot hold high office. That's a rule. And so now the more than 40 Democrats in the House are putting forth a bill to take advantage of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, and try to put out legislation to stop Trump from ever holding office again. Using the 14th Amendment, Congressman David Cicilline of Rhode Island, one of the impeachment managers, has got 40 co-sponsors to put something in place that would stop the former president from becoming president again. I don't see how they can pass it. It's not going to pass out of the Senate. But again, sometimes you got to keep the pressure on. You got to be relentless in reminding people that this guy is a criminal, reminding him that we don't want him to hold office again. Sadly, that could be a boon to DeSantis, the Florida governor who wants to run. But, Democrats letting it be known. We have not forgotten, and we will keep hounding you. Crazy story. Do you see this giant aquarium broke? It's inside of a hotel, and it's 1,500. This is in Germany. 1,500 fish went down. I've always been wary about those things that much water is supposed to be one of the biggest ones in the world. Crashes down, does damage. A couple people injured, but fortunately, nobody died. And I really want you. I want us, me, you, and all of us to check on our friends this holiday season. I think the suicide of Stephen Boss, known as Twitch, is just a reminder that you don't know what's going on with people no matter how they look. Apparently, he left a note, and he said that, he was talking about his life before and the challenges that he's faced in his life, leading him to this this decision to end his own life with a gun. And I say that to say, rest in peace to him. But I also say it to say, we see people especially on social media, we put forth our happiest face, our cutest picture, our filtered selves. And many times we, the friends, family, or fans of those persons, we assume that happy Facebook face, that Instagram filter, that, TikTok vibe is real life, and it often isn't. And I understand that mental health is at the core of this, but sometimes even when someone is having a mental health crisis, just talking to someone and letting a loved one listen can make all the difference in the world. So this holiday season, let's do our best to check on each other and take care of each other in what has been a very trying few years for the whole globe. Remember that everybody is going through a thing, and look at how we can be part of helping rather than part of the problem. We have an amazing story coming up in our daily deep dive. It's an ancestral journey. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm John Marshall. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A holiday tradition will continue tomorrow across the country. Saturday is Wreaths Across America Day. Volunteers will fan out at some 3,000 cemeteries across the country, placing holiday wreaths on graves of veterans. The organization behind the event works all year with